gold.
Nonsense.
The golden god!
And he dragged you two into this nonsense?
I volunteered.
And her gold is not in her. She's a diamond under her. Wanna lay it down. I'll try my heart. Don't I know gold is not in her. And her gold is not.
Can you hear me in your shit? I can hear me in my shit. Yo.
My name is Charlie, and I'm gay as fuck. I got no friends, and a tiny dick. I got a tiny cock, and no friends. All the time I spend.
You know what? You
jacking my little ass dick
yourself.
all the time. I don't have any friends at all. I got no friends, and I'm gay, and I got the tiniest dick in the world.
Whoa.
Tiniest 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 in the world.
This man got a small ass dick. Don't you forget it.
We got some music going because it's
Are we gonna do the whole debate? How long are we doing this?
We can do 2 hours. We can do an hour and a half, 2 hours. Let's go. Come on.
How long is the debate?
I think I have no idea. I have no idea.
Should we Google it?
I didn't even know what's happening tonight.
How long is the presidential debate tonight? Doesn't fucking say. It says what time.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Shohei Ohtani, legends of the game. But now the list of greats.
What is the
redefined.
duration
From ABC News,
of the presidential
reclaim
debate
The Forgotten
tonight?
League, a side of the story of baseball you have never heard before like this. The award-winning podcast is back. Listen wherever you get your podcasts or scan the QR codes you see here.
Hank Aaron is the fucking best
For excellence with 40 Emmy nominations.
because he plays for the Braves.
Weekends streaming 20
Hello. Okay, so this is not as loud as it can be, right?
No, it gets very loud.
Oh, it gets too loud. Okay.
America's #1 streaming.
That's good
news.
for me.
Live reporting, breaking new exclusives. Keep streaming with ABC.
We are. Hey, so check this out. We have been added to not yet, but I kind of give it the okay.
Hey, does this record in multi-track? So like you can change the levels of everything? That's pretty cool.
The
God, 28 minutes.
28 minutes till.
You don't got to be here, bro. We get somebody else, bro.
No, I'm good. Well, you're in my fucking room.
Just give me your keys. I'll come back to you.
No, you could actually lock it up, but I'll watch it for a little. I'm gonna watch it. I was gonna watch it anyway.
So watch with us, bro.
Yeah, better to watch it with you, Jackoffs, than anybody else.
What's your lady doing tonight?
She's with her friend, actually, watching the fucking debate too.
That's what I wanted to do.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
I wanted to do this. This is important. We're adults. We gotta do adult things.
What's your wife doing?
Probably not giving a fuck.
I know. Look at this guy. He's
I'm
fucking.
maidenless.
He's stuck inside of a fucking.
I got no maiden, bro. I ain't got no hose.
She's just at home hanging out with our dogs, chilling.
That's cool.
But anyway,
chilling out.
Kate Lucas told me that there is a podcast coalition network that's forming in town somewhere.
Oh, yeah?
And they approached Kate about diversity in programming.
Okay.
And she threw our name in the hat for a comedy podcast.
Well, hey.
So I'm going to follow up on that and see what's up for that.
That'll be cool.
What in the fuck is going on? What are we watching?
Have y'all heard about these Haitian immigrants?
Do you know what 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd is?
It's the he fucking just told me what it was.
Avogadro's number.
Avogadro's number.
That's what I was
And he's
talking
got an avocado holding up Avogadro's number.
Why is Avogadro number relevant?
Who the fuck is Avogadro?
Avogadro, I think, is like a physicist or a chemist. Avogadro's number is the.
Why is it his number though? What's that mean?
It's an important number. It's
important.
He discovered it. I believe it's the number of molecules in a mole.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. That's what it is.
I think that's what it is.
That is
How
what
does,
it is.
Yo, how do like I understand that I've entered into like a realm of humanity where there are still mysteries, but the fact that some dude Avogadro was like, "Yo, what's the math on a mole?"
Yeah, but like,
Right?
doesn't that
Like-
matter on the mass of the mole?
The-
Wouldn't you think the bigger the mole, the more molecules it would have?
I don't know, dude. I'm not a scientist.
Wait, no. Because
A mole is
a mole is the molar mass of an element is dependent on the
amount of atoms it has.
yeah.
That's what he's saying.
No,
Right.
the number of atoms is
the
constant.
mass.
No, the number of atoms is constant.
Yeah, but no matter the fucking mass.
Oh, dude, that's a fucking,
Molar mass
that's a nice little
is
sign.
Yeah, Skinny made that, dude. We're gonna get sued by Subway.
Oh, that's great.
I really like that.
He made
I like
that.
sticker a lot.
Honestly, he did that without my permission.
That's great.
I think it's great
as
too.
he plopped it on that door, and I just started laughing. He was like, it was gonna go two ways. It was gonna go, you either hate it or you love it. And I was like, I love it. It's great.
It is very Sue-worthy.
Oh yeah, I mean. If we produce that, it would get sued. For those who can't fucking see what we're talking about,
Is it because of the? Well, are we recording?
We're recording.
Oh,
it's
fuck.
it's sun weight as a Subway sandwich.
Live at Sunway headquarters, we are golden nonsense. I am John Miller. This is my boy, Mr. Charlie Reifenberger, and we are granted. I'm sorry, escorted by Mr. Sunway himself, Mr. Nathan Woloshin.
And welcome
Thank
to
you.
the debate.
Thank you for having me
Right,
on.
this is the 2024 presidential debate live. We got sound effects. We do. They're not as loud as usual, but we still have sound effects. Guys, we've traveled 1,000 miles. Okay, to
Check this out. This is leaving Afghanistan.
So, are you guys going to record all of this on here too?
Yeah, all of it's being recorded, I guess.
So that withdrawal from Afghanistan happened in August of 2021.
Suck a dick,
the other thing that
Afghanistan.
happened in August of 2021
No,
was
Afghanistan
Joe
has a
Biden
lot of
became an
poppy
unpopular
fields. It's
president.
very important
his
for Big
popularity,
Pharma.
his favorability ratings
That's why.
went
That's
below
why
50%.
Dick Cheney wanted us to go over there. But
It's Big Pharma. Yeah, let's mute that shit until the fucking thing starts.
the
I guess.
fucking
Like-
debate. But
So let's get right off the bat, John. You're a Trump supporter, so you understand this.
I am a guy. I'm a GDI, but I am leaning very.
We don't
heavily
care
to-
what gang you're in. I want to know about your political views.
I'm a gangster disciple. That's my political party.
See, he's a GD. I'm a GDI.
Yeah, Gangster Disciples Incorporated. I got you.
No, I'm a goddamn independent.
Is that what that means?
I'm like a real smart, free-thinking guy. That's what I am.
I think it's funny.
Charlie is the white conciliary for the GDs.
I think it's pretty funny that as a man from Memphis, that if you say GD anything,
Oh no! What has happened?
I turn myself off.
Oh,
I think that it's
dummy.
funny that anything that starts with a GD, I'm just going Gangster Disciples all the way.
Well, I knew a couple gangster disciples. They're good dudes. They're just business guys that happen to have guns.
Yeah,
You know,
And murder people.
I used to
they don't really murder people.
work.
They try
What
not
are
to.
you fucking talking about?
They try not to.
That's not true at all.
The GDs I know are businessmen.
Well,
They make
all
money.
right, that's good.
The guys up under them, it remains to be seen.
The people that I knew that were GDs
They were hotheads.
were not as nice as the people you knew.
Oh yeah, the guys I knew were entrepreneurs.
That's the difference between Ridgeway and White Station.
There you go.
There you go.
So I used to work on a moving truck. That was my job for a little while.
We all did a little for a little while.
It was great. It was the best job I ever had.
best job you've ever had?
like moving people's
Furniture?
stuff and
Yep,
yeah.
private, residential.
Gotcha.
That's
Pack
lame,
up a
dude.
whole house into a truck.
Right, wrap it
move
up in
it
plastic
to
and shit.
Yeah, wrap it up in plastic.
Were you in college hunks or was it
No, it was an independent one
Oh damn!
in Atlanta.
I worked for a fucking
It
company
was
called
called
College.
It was
College
called
Hunks.
Georgia Pack and Load. Was the
So
name of the company.
you were a college hunk.
I was a college hunk. Yes.
So
Nice.
I knew this one dude. He was a GD. He was a white guy.
Yeah.
Really?
He was literally he had tattoos.
Good for him.
I mean, he was basically black because he had tattoos on every single inch,
Square inch
of
of
his
his
whole
body.
body. Yeah, yeah.
He was a white
and
Atlantean
he
GD.
he just said the N-word and nobody cared.
Whoa.
All the black guys.
What year?
Did not
What year
care.
was this?
This was in college.
This was
in
not
college.
that long ago. This is like 5 years ago.
Oh, geez. Really?
Well, look, I tell you this, man. It's like I don't know. I don't make the rules of the N-word, but it seems
I
like...
guess if you have tattoos on every inch of your body.
Look, that's a white guy who went to prison and then didn't join a white gang. He joined the black gang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like...
Not many white people I know, even like the most gangster people that I went to high school with, that were like only friends with black people type of stuff.
He had
never
the pass.
said that.
This dude had the pass. And
That's crazy.
It was unbelievable to me.
I don't even know what you got. Like you got to you got to save drowning black kids or something. I don't know what you got to do to get the end
You
pass.
just got to be. Yeah, I don't know.
You got to be a gangster. You got to kill in the honor of black people. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not giving it out.
He was one of the guys.
You haven't hit the threshold, nor have you, brother. And I love you.
I love calling white people honkies, though. If that makes any difference.
I'm still searching for the elusive N-word of white people, which is some.
I think it's honky.
It's not. It don't count.
Well, I mean, are you trying to find something that's like going to piss somebody off?
It's cutting. It's like the
it
best
used
I've got.
to be racist. If you called a white person racist, they would just
defend themselves. Oh no. Yeah. But that's because of the consequence of that, right? The N-word is like a racial slur, like kike or wetback, or you know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
There's other. I don't think that the generic white American has that. Right, because it was very race specific. Like you have WAP for Italians and mixed,
but I mean,
mixed for
I don't even think would an Italian get really mad at that?
They used to.
They used to.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter
fucking
anymore.
Guinea WAP, right?
A Guinea or a Dago.
Yeah, Dago WAP. I've heard that before.
WAP.
I've heard if you call any Irish dude a Mick up north, like up past DC,
I'm learning my slang from you guys. You guys are bad influences.
We had we had a whole racial slur database episode.
Oh,
Yes,
that's great.
Yeah, there is a racial slur database. I keep on bringing it up because it's a good resource.
But didn't it also have gay slurs?
It has all the slurs. It
had all the slurs.
All right, what's the slur for an Egyptian person?
I got you. Give me a second.
Oh my God, he's gonna pull it out. Fuck.
Is there anything a German guy can get offended by?
Right.
I think if you call a German guy,
just say the Holocaust happened, and they get pissed off.
He's like, it didn't happen as they say. We're way more efficient.
I think
they'll tell you how much medicine came out of the Holocaust.
It is statistically impossible for a gas chamber to have porous wood doors. They're gonna be like, a German would have built better doors. This is a Polish made. That's
if you go to the wrong websites on the internet, people will start telling you like, all right, if you were gonna bake 6 million cookies, how many ovens would you need?
I'm gonna be honest.
How many?
What's the engineering behind that?
I think the number is more. I don't think it's 6 million Jews. I think it's 10 million Jews, and we lost 4 million of them. The black Jews, the gypsy Jews, the gay Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
what about
those were less than the people that got killed either way?
I don't think they're less than. I think they weren't uncounted.
Right. Which, I mean, in war,
you said Egyptian.
Yeah, Egyptian. Why do you have this database? What is this? A spreadsheet?
I built it.
He runs it.
I didn't.
He's hosting it on a server in his mom's attic. It's a very secret server with a lot of proxies and
secret server. That's a good band name.
Egyptians. I bet you can get a lot of sand monkey. Okay, let's see. Egyptians. You call them a gyppo. Play word on gypsy means cheater swindler. Moleko Jeko. You're a fucking pyramid fucker.
A what?
Pyramid fucker.
Pyramid fucker.
What is that? Hold on.
Egyptians use
pyramids.
We
need to look into that more.
Pyramid fucker?
Egyptians
are they fucking the pyramid?
Is that like the same thing as like when you're a kid and you like fuck your couch?
Do you think people...
Yeah. Very similar. Very similar.
Do you think somebody's fucked those pyramids?
Dude, I mean...
I guess anything that's been around that long...
You gotta have a couch.
Somebody's fucked it.
Hey, yo, under a starlight on the desert, bro, and you got a fucking raging hard-on because you're on some fucking Egyptian hash...
Yeah, some hashish.
Yeah, you don't walked up to the goddamn Great Pyramid and you see the perfectly modular brick lines.
God, I love your angles.
My
You're an
tiny
angular
Egyptian
lady.
penis,
I like that.
My tiny Egyptian penis can fit right into this
the
crevice. This motherfucking 3-inch by 3-inch crevice.
I don't think there's any cracks. I think you would have to just rub your dick on the outside
until you nut.
But here's the thing: it's been there so long, someone's done it.
Yeah, has somebody fucked the Alamo?
No, it hadn't been there long.
The Mexicans did. The Mexicans fucked the Alamo. I'm telling you.
They came in. They were like, "This is ours."
John, they fucking killed
everybody
John,
pick a brick and fuck it.
They killed John Bowie. They killed
Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett.
David Crockett, all the other Tennessee cohorts, bro.
All the volunteers.
I'm a goddamn volunteer.
It was a right. It was
Did you graduate from UT?
Sure did.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What was your what was your degree in?
Talking and writing.
Well, all right.
Communication studies. I started in environmental engineering.
But communications is so fucking like vague. Like,
It
what
sure
were
is.
you? What were you like wanting to do out of that?
Okay, check this out. I told my professor, my counselor, right, that I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and I'm gonna use this as a proxy to make my mom happy. So I'm gonna make this my own degree. He was like, "You got to pick a discipline." I was like, "What if I've had all of them?" And I just tried doing comedy in all of them. So I did a couple journalism classes, did a couple broadcasting classes.
So the goal was always comedy, but
I did a couple acting classes.
You had to convince your mother that college was worth it for
No, my mom thought I was going to school for engineering the whole time.
engineering.
I got the scholarship for engineering. I had
So why didn't you do that?
Because
because it's fucking gay.
Yeah,
It sucks.
Yeah. All right. Well,
because look, dude, I did.
Don't be an engineer.
I did calculus too. I did calculus
coming
too.
from a guy who went to Georgia
It's for the
Technical
gayest-
College,
it's for the gayest
Is that
dudes.
or is it Technical University?
It's Georgia Institute of Technology.
They're trying to
Institute
teach them
Technology.
boys how to make cows fuck better. You know what I'm saying? It's an agricultural school.
I mean, he's doing pretty well. I think. I
Agriculture.
don't know.
Now he is. When I found him, he was fucking homeless.
Well, but
I was paying for cigarettes with pennies.
but he came here for love.
Yes, that's correct.
Right, and it worked out. This is where I fucked up because I had a girlfriend that I could have followed for love, and I didn't. I was like, fuck that hoe. I'm telling jokes in my hometown. And look where I am now.
Where did she go?
Motherfucking California, bro.
What's her name?
I ain't saying her name. Fuck that.
I'm going to California.
She knows who we're talking about.
She
Fuck
knows.
you, bitch.
I'm going in 2 weeks. I'm going to Cali.
Salute.
I've never been. I've never been to California
I've never
before.
been.
You've never been to Cali?
In 2 weeks, you're going?
Where are you
I'm going
going?
in 2
though?
weeks.
Where are you going?
In 2 weeks, I'm supposed to go, but I don't think I'll be able to make it because
Really?
my boy died, and it might coincide with the funeral and shit. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? And I was supposed to be there for. I was supposed to fly into San Francisco, and my first roommate in college,
Yeah.
Xavier, he's getting married, and so he's like he invited me like last minute to the wedding party
So
bachelor thing.
my buddy, that's what I'm going for is for a wedding. My
Man.
buddy,
Where though?
I don't. We're staying in Hermosa Beach.
So I'm supposed to be flying.
What?
L.A.
Oh, you're
okay,
in.
okay,
Yeah, I'm supposed to be
cool,
flying
cool.
into San Francisco and
Oh, yeah.
driving to Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
So it's like I
Well,
mean,
that's really.
yeah, like 3 hours.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have family that live in Oakland, and I also have family that live in Santa Rosa.
So-
California's amazing.
So
Yeah.
what's the better place to fly into? Oakland or San Fran?
San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah. So my buddy, I invited him to my wedding. He's like, I can't come, but can you come to my wedding? It's kinda like,
Sure.
Okay, I guess. Yeah.
That's fair.
Fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you were a woman, you would have ended your friendship right there. But as men, we're like, dude, I get it, bro.
Yeah. I mean, shit.
How much is it going to cost to go there?
It's gonna be, well, we got our hotel room. They had an extra room that they had paid for already. He was like, "You can use it," but then I had to pay for one. It's gonna be a couple $100, like a few $100.
That's not bad.
Whoa.
Well, then the plane trip
yeah, the plane ticket's going to be like
was like $500. Yeah. And I rented a car that was like $300. So yeah, like
you about
like
a grand?
almost $1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
probably less. Probably less than 1,000.
I'm just trying to think of like how many friends I have that I would spend that money on. It's not a lot.
Yeah. It's
Dude,
my roommate from college.
See, that's
Yeah,
the-
it's
that's
important.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to do that. Right.
That's
I mean,
important.
I did it for Lil Rob for his bachelor party this weekend. Dude, I had a great time.
He's a
in New
great
Orleans.
dude, Spencer. He's the
Shout
fucking
out!
man.
Shout out! Well, who was your roommate in college?
Well, I jumped around colleges.
He was at Memphis, right?
I went to Memphis for a little bit, but that was like the last of my college. I started off at MTSU, and then I went to Southwest, and then I went to Memphis, and then I dropped out. But the only time I ever had a roommate was at MTSU, and
That's not your boy. Ooh,
no,
that's not
man.
good.
I mean, it was interesting. I had one
Remember the-
roommate. I
got that other thing.
the power adapter thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab it.
All right.
Oh no, is it here?
Oh
might
yeah,
have
we're
it right
running
here.
low on battery.
we need a little juice.
This debate's about to.
We got 10 minutes.
Die.
Okay, so you asked me about being a Trump supporter, right?
Yeah, because I know that you are, and I just want.
I deflected to being a GDI.
That's right, because you're a Gangster Disciple Incorporated, which I guess is the more business side of GDs.
God, yeah. I look. I would never ever lie and say I'm in a gang that I'm not. Even on a comedy podcast.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
because I know real gangsters, and I just shouldn't do that. Right?
What do you think they would kill you over it?
I think.
I mean, the ones you would the ones you know would not, right?
I don't think that they listen to my podcast, but
but the ones you know would not. Correct.
No, but they're
All
like
right. 'Cause they're more business.
My friends with the tattoos all over them, he's gonna kill me.
Yeah, there you go. I know some dudes that are.
I've already spoken too much out of turn.
Right.
I'm dead meat.
He already said white dude tattoo saying the N-word. There's only one in all of Georgia. That's Lil White Mac. That's what we call him. Lil White Mac. Did you know the GDs use that? If you're a Mac, if you're like Mac Dre, Mac Tone, Mac this, those are all right there. Oh, block.
Where's this going?
That's going to the
that's
power.
the power for the haha. We can unplug any of this,
But we need a block. Oh, there's a block over there by the by the DJ booth. All that tech over there. So yeah, man, like here's what I'm gonna tell you this right now before this starts, okay? And I hate Charlie's not here, but I'm gonna say it to you, right?
We're still recording, so it's fine.
I know, but
is he recording on that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hate the appeal to emotion that the Harris campaign is using, right? It's like he's a mean guy. He said her name wrong. And then you know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of it.
I'm by no means a Trump supporter or a fan of him or his politics. But saying that, I it's hard for me to like Harris, man.
Look, dude. She is not. She to me. Look.
She's saying all this shit. It's like, dude, you had 4 years in that bitch. You could have done all this already. You're a liar,
dude. Look, you know what's hard. You know what's hard. I was raised by a black woman, right?
Right.
And all her friends are black women, right? Each time my mom is sick too, so her friends are always over there visiting and checking on her. Whatever.
Right.
They all. Cause my mom watches the news most of the day, right? They all just like start shaming me about my voting choice because look, check this out. I always hit them with, explain yourself, right? I told you my reasoning. I was like, I don't like the whole unrealized gains on taxes, and I want the border to be safe, right? I don't want bad people in the country, right? And there's like this is really basic ass like conservative values, right? They're like, he's a racist. I'm like, he ain't never called me no nigga. And then they go, well, he's done racist things. I'm like, yeah, but when he was president, I saw black people thriving, right?
I mean, when he was president, financially, everybody was thriving.
Did you know that Donald Trump, during his campaign, signed off on the largest HBCU financial aid program, like for black colleges?
I can believe that.
And so, and then I don't say the moment, but within the first year of the Biden administration, they rolled that back, right?
But you got to understand that a lot of that decision making is not the president; it's the people
it's the Congress and the Senate
that have been in there for a long ass time.
I know
so
this.
it's not necessarily.
I know this. Look,
the fucking president is a mascot. I mean, we might as well just look at it as a mascot.
I know.
Because these people are becoming fans like he's a fucking musician. It's just
Have you seen? You were there for the greatest campaign that's ever been ran in our lifetimes. Probably in every lifetime was the Barack Obama campaign.
Well, yeah.
You know
I mean, I was in high school. That was the most impactful of it all.
Of course. Well, beyond
for me,
beyond just being at our formative years, right? Like, the campaign was. It was like, if you look back at it, it was like airtight. The message, like, he wasn't a bad candidate. He wasn't saying the wrong things. Like, if you look at,
but another thing is, not many people knew who he was.
That right there.
Most people did not know who he was.
That's a hidden benefit, bro. That's a hidden benefit.
Yeah.
I think being known is a good thing.
I mean, I would say yes, but also no, especially if you're running for something like high office like that, dude. Like, the less the people know about you, it's probably the better, because they're just assuming that you're more or less like them because they don't know you.
You don't have a track
you know what
record
I mean?
Like,
they see these 5 certain things that they kind of agree with, and especially that's what Obama was doing. He's like, Don't you want to change? I mean, his whole thing was hope and change, and being there for the middleman. When we were dealing with a lot of fucking bullshit.
That was the Iraq War and George Bush. All that shit.
Yeah, I mean, when in George Bush, that whole family, man. Where's that going to?
The only good bush is the burning bush, baby.
That's going to your camera. You just turn that off. Here. Unplug this.
The big block on the end.
Unplug that. There you go.
I mean, Charlie, you actually have a USB port right there. You fucking Riri. But it was blocked by the long block. Doesn't matter.
Blocked by the long block.
It was blocked by the long block. Block
by the long block.
Block by the
baby.
Block by the.
I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
How long do we have until this fucking stupid debate starts?
3 minutes and 55 seconds.
Is it charging that thing?
And now
look at the fucking face that it paused on.
Oh yeah, dude, that's good. We're a little frozen now. Okay. Hey, bro.
Yeah, you're charging.
Dude, give me a shot, bro.
You want one?
Yeah, dude.
All right, I got you.
Fuck with me.
I got you. Of course.
All right, we're dialed in, fellas.
All right, so are you going to redo the fucking intro? Did we just record nothing for nothing?
Yeah, we got 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes of. That's important. Okay. All right. So we'll do another one just for prosperity's sake. Is that okay?
Another what?
Another intro, or are we good?
No, we don't need a fucking
when
intro.
it comes to the economy, do
It's
you
the
believe
debate
Americans
episode,
are
and we're
better off?
fucking back, bitches.
We're back.
And they're still talking. Oh, no, it's going.
It's going. Started.
Raised as a middle-class kid. And I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing. And the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children.
She's half Jamaican, half Indian.
My passion, one of them is small businesses. I was actually, my mother raised my sister and me,
she's not American,
but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses.
Who is your second mother?
My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to start up small businesses,
She said she was middle
knowing
class.
they are part of the backbone of America's economy.
Do we want to watch
My
the live
opponent,
chat?
on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires
You know what?
and
Donald
big
Trump
corporations,
actually looks pretty good.
which will result in $5 trillion
he's looking
to
all right.
America's
He looks
deficit.
like chiseled.
My opponent
like,
has a plan that I
all right,
call
I
the
gotta
Trump
ask you guys a
sales
question.
tax, which would be a
Are we thinking
20% tax
that
on
Kamala Harris is
everyday
kinda
goods
hot?
that you rely on
Kamala-
to get
kinda.
through the month.
Look, Kamala is
Economists
a
have said
certified
that
baddie.
Trump
She's
sales
been a
tax
baddie for a
would
long time.
actually
She's
result
you know
she's
what?
have to be
middle-class
50 now.
families
I'm not gonna go
in
in-
about
I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
$4,000 more
She's attractive.
a year.
Would.
She's
Because
attractive.
Would you do
of
it?
his policies and his ideas about
If I wasn't married to my beautiful wife, I would consider
middle-class
it.
people paying for
Y'all are
tax
both
cuts
married.
for
Y'all are boring
billionaires.
now.
Yeah, I'm so
First of all,
boring.
I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done
Why
for
does
the
he
world.
sound like that?
And
he's dialed in,
tariff
baby.
will be substantial in some cases.
What
I took
the
in
hell?
billions and billions of dollars, as you
All
know,
right.
from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because it was so much money they can't. It would totally destroy everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places. They've left the tariffs on. When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible
Sound like a
economy
dude.
because
Sound like a good
inflation,
Oh my God!
is-
So,
which is really
so
known
look,
as
I was
going to
let him finish, but
breaks up
honestly,
countries.
did
We
they
have
just bring out a
inflation like
fucking
very few
robot
people have
of Donald
ever seen
Trump?
before.
This does
Probably
not.
the
This
worst
sounds
in
like
our
AI
nation's
Trump,
history.
dude.
We were at
He's
21%,
This
but
is
that's
fucking
being
AI
generous
Trump
because many
right
things
now.
are 50, 60, 70, and 80%
He's
higher
probably not
than they were just a few
on
years
the
ago.
HGH
This
they
has
usually
been
are.
a disaster for
He
people, for the
sounds
middle class,
crazy
but for every
weird, bro.
class. On top of that, we have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails,
he
from
can't
mental
blame the inflation
institutions and
on
insane
the Biden
asylums.
administration.
And they're coming in and they're taking
it all
jobs
is from
that are
COVID,
occupied right now
which
by
happened under him.
African Americans and Hispanics. And also unions.
keeps trying to
Unions
do
are going to be
that.
affected very soon.
Well, people
and
are
you see
feeling
what's
it now.
happening.
I
You see
agree with
what's
that.
happening
I
with
agree with
towns
that.
People are feeling
throughout
it
the
now.
United
That's-
States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado.
This
They
is
are
bringing it
taking
up,
over
though.
the towns. They're
Look,
taking
all
over
I'm
buildings.
saying
They're
is
going
that
in
Donald
violently.
Trump is looking
These are
really
the
hot
people
right now, but
that
I kinda wanna bang
he is
him.
that's a fucking
led into
robot.
our
Are we
country.
not? Am I
They're
not looking at an
destroying
Austin
our
Powers
country.
fembot
They're
of fucking
dangerous.
Donald Trump
They're
right
at the
now?
highest level
Look,
of criminality.
he's talking about.
And we have to get
look,
them out. We have to
this
get
is a
them out fast.
goddamn
I created one of the
motherfucking
greatest
chess move.
economies in the history of our
I
country.
wish I would leave.
I'll
I
do it
wanna
again
bang
and
Kamala-
even better.
We are going to get
dude,
to immigration
have a
and border
threesome with
security
Kamala
during this
Harris and
debate, but,
Donald Trump.
I would like
That's
to
what I
let
wanna
Vice
do.
President
Dude,
Harris
how
respond
do
on
we
the
make
economy.
that happen?
Well, I would love to. Let's talk
In
about
hell.
what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic
He's
in a
going to come
century.
back and say, Kamala,
Donald Trump
your
left
handicap
us
is definitely
the
not a
worst
6. I've
attack
seen your
on our
swing.
democracy since
China.
the Civil
That's what I
War.
say. China.
And what
Have
we
you seen
have
those
done is clean
robots
up
that
Donald
China's coming
Trump's
out with
mess.
that are like
What we
fucking
have
people?
done and what
Yeah.
I intend to do
That is what
build
Donald Trump is
on
right
what
now.
we know are the
That is a
aspirations
Chinese
and the hopes of
robot
the American
calling
people.
it
But
right
I'm going
now.
to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook, a bunch of lies, grievances,
she's doing the
and
Eminem.
name calling. What you're going to hear
She's doing the
tonight
Eminem.
is a
you talking about
detailed
the Marshall
and
Mathers?
dangerous
No,
plan
she's
called
doing-
Project
yeah, I am from a
2025
trailer park.
that the former
Yeah.
president intends on
Yeah, you know what I'm
implementing
saying?
if
Yeah,
he were
my mom
elected
did fucking.
again. I
But
believe
your name
very
Clarence.
strongly
Your mama
that
had
the
a real
American
good
people
marriage.
want a president who understands
doing the
the
8 Mile
importance
right now.
of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common
Kamala
than
Harris-
what separates us. And I pledge to you to
Let's
be a
just say
president
that she's
for all
not good at
Americans.
golf, right?
President
I
Trump will
mean,
give
I've
you a
heard
minute.
that she's not good at
Number
golf.
one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as
Trump's
she knows
pretty
better
good.
than anyone. I have
It
nothing
makes
to do
me
with
sad
Project
and kind of mad how
2025.
good
He's very
That's
good.
out
Donald
there.
Trump is
I
at
haven't
golf.
read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to
And
read
I
it.
just shot a
This was
79
group
at
of people
Audubon.
that got together. They
I
came up with
believe that
some
he has
ideas.
not
I guess
read
some
it.
good, some
2025?
bad.
That
I
probably
believe-
2025.
It makes
I-
no difference.
when
I have
Donald Trump
nothing
tells
to
me
do.
he hasn't
Everybody
read
knows I'm an
something,
open book.
I
Everybody
believe
knows
that
what I'm going to do.
he
Cut
has not
taxes
read
very
it.
substantially and create a great economy
Oh,
like
my
I did
God, I'm
before.
sorry.
We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic.
something
And
heavy.
the pandemic was
you know what?
not
That was
since
probably what I-
1917
what-
where
here,
100 million
here.
people
I got
died.
it, I got it.
Has there been anything like it? We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic.
No,
We
you
handed
didn't,
them
bro.
over a
No, you didn't.
country where the
Phenomenal.
economy and where the
If
stock
he-
market
you know
was
what would have
higher
made
than it was before
the
pandemic
pandemic a little
came in.
better?
What's that?
Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
Instead of how much-
we made
how much did we
ventilators
get?
for the
1,200?
entire world. We got gowns. We got
12
masks.
thou.
We did things that nobody thought
Give me
possible.
12,000.
And people give me credit for rebuilding the
1,000
military.
a
They
month?
give me credit for a lot of things.
That coulda
but
helped
not enough
out.
credit
Don't
for
you
the
think?
great job we did with the
I
pandemic.
mean, it would have been
But
nice.
the only jobs they got were
Inflation
bounce
would probably
back
be a lot
jobs. These
worse
were
now.
jobs.
Yeah. Oh, my
Bounce
God.
back, and it
This
bounced
will be-
back, and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So, Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy.
I ain't gonna
and
lie, man.
the best
I
economists
want her to
in
fumble,
our country,
bro.
if not the world,
Yeah.
I want her to
have
fumble,
reviewed
bro.
our relative plans for the future of
like-
America. What
Yeah,
Goldman
but dude,
Sachs
if
feels
she
like she-
fumbles,
is that
then
Donald
what
Trump's
happens?
plan
She feels like
would
a
make
liar,
the
bro.
economy worse.
She feels like a
Mine
liar.
would
Yeah, I
mean,
strengthen the
she
economy.
is a
What
liar,
the
but if
Wharton
she
School has said
fumbles,
is Donald Trump's plan
what is
would
you want? You
actually
want that?
explode
I want
the
Donnie?
deficit.
You want the
16
Chinese robot that
Nobel
I'm watching right
laureates
now?
have
Bro, the
described
fucking
his
fembot, the Austin
economic
Powers
plan as
fembot.
If
something
we don't
that
have a
would
Hawaiian
increase inflation,
half
and
black
by the
man,
middle of
if we don't
next
have
year
Obama
would
again,
invite a
then
recession.
I want
You just
Donnie,
have to
bro.
look
If
at
we ain't
where
know-
we
if we-
are
if we
and where
can't
we
run it
stand
back,
on the issues. And I
Obama
would
part
invite you
3.
to know that Donald Trump actually has no
Trey
plan
Obama,
for
we call him
you
Trey Obama.
because he is more interested
we
in
don't do that-
defending
Can we not
himself
make
than he is in
Barack
looking out
Obama
for you.
the king of America?
I gave her that to say.
No.
I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring up our worth.
You know
our
who
value
does
as a
the
country.
best
It's gonna
impression
make
of this
people
fucker?
want to be
Shane
able
Gillis
to
does
go
that.
and work.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone knows.
create
Yeah.
jobs
It's
and create a
so
lot
funny.
of good, solid money for our country.
Shout out to
And
Shane
just
Gillis.
finish
I hope
off,
you watch this podcast.
She doesn't
Even though-
have a plan.
He does.
She
probably
copied
doesn't even watch
Biden's
any
plan,
podcasts
and
because he's
it's
on so
like
fucking many of
4
them.
No.
sentences,
He's
like
a
run,
big fan of
spot,
Golden
run.
Nonsense.
4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan.
I don't
She
think
doesn't
she does
have a plan.
I don't think.
Mr. President, I do want to drill down on something.
My
you both
thing is
brought
that
up.
she's had
The Vice
4
President
years
brought up
in
a
there
terrorist
to
you
fucking
responded.
do all
Let's
this
drill down on
anyway.
this
It's just
because
it doesn't make
She was
sense.
plan
chilling the
is
whole
what
time.
she calls is
Well,
essentially
the
a
vice
national
president-
sales
She was-
tax.
the
She
vice
also
president-
calls for
have you ever
tariffs, as
seen
we pointed out
Vice,
here,
the movie
on
Vice?
foreign imports
The
across
movie?
the board. You
With,
recently said that you might double
Christian
your
Bale?
plan, imposing
Oh, at
tariffs up to
Cheney.
20%
Yeah, no, I
on
hadn't
goods
seen that.
coming into this
You should
country.
watch it. It's a great movie.
As you know, many
And it's-
economists say that
and a
these
lot of
tariffs
people
will
say
have
that.
level
out
costs are
and
then
endorsed
passed on to the
Kamala.
consumer.
Dick
Did he
Cheney.
really?
President Harris has
Cheney
argued
came
it'll
out.
mean higher
Dick
prices
Cheney's a
on
criminal.
gas,
Dude,
food,
if I was
clothing,
Kamala, I'd be like,
medication,
"Hey, Cheney."
arguing it costs the typical
Maybe keep
family
it down.
nearly
Maybe just like
$4,000
if you really want to, if you
Do
really
you
want to
believe
be
Americans
support,
can
show your
afford
support.
higher
He's the
prices
Frankenstein
because
of fucking,
tariffs?
They're not going to
keep
have
that
higher
quiet.
prices. What's going to have, and who's going to have
Dick
higher
Cheney
prices
shot a
is
guy.
China
Just let everybody
and
know.
all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years. I was the
Ripping
only
us off.
president ever.
Nobody's-
China was
nobody's
paying us
ripping us off.
hundreds of billions of dollars, and so were other countries.
You know
And,
who's ripping us
if she
off?
doesn't like
Our
them,
own country.
They should have
That's-
gone out
well,
and they
we're
should have
putting one over on
immediately
the
cut
whole
the
world right
tariffs.
now.
But those
I mean,
tariffs are there 3.5
our
years
dollar
now
is just
under
like-
their administration.
It still goes so far.
We are going to take in
Nobody's ripping
billions
us off.
of
We're
dollars,
ripping the world
hundreds
off.
of
But
billions of dollars.
why not
I had no
believe in
inflation,
motherfucking
virtually no
American
inflation. They had the
superiority?
highest inflation
we are
perhaps in the history of our
Dude,
country.
I'm a black man
because
in America,
I've never
bro,
seen a
right?
worse period of
Like,
time. People can't
60
go
years
out
ago, I
and buy
was a second-class
cereal or
citizen,
bacon
right?
or eggs
Now,
or anything
I'm a
else.
first-class citizen worldwide
The
because I'm
people
American.
of our country
You feel what
are
I'm saying?
absolutely
Like, I want that shit to
fine with
win.
what they've
It's
done.
great.
But
They've
dude,
destroyed
like
the economy.
that's kind of
And all
an
you have to do is look at a
American.
poll.
That's
The
kind of like an
polls say
American
80 and 85
facade,
and even
if you will,
90%
because
that the Trump
if you go to
economy was
Europe,
great, that their
if you go
economy
to
was
Japan,
terrible.
if you go
Vice
to
President
India,
Harris, I
if you
do
go
want
to
to
any of
ask
those
for
other
your
places,
response, and you heard
it's
what the
like
president said there, because the
they're
Biden
not
administration
far
did
off.
keep
I mean,
a number
not-
of
their
Trump
buildings
tariffs
are
in
older,
place.
I'm
but
not-
the
I'm
tech,
not-
I mean,
okay,
everything's
look.
Well,
still
let's
there.
be clear
Yeah,
that
but you-
the
you-
Trump
you're
administration
talking about-
Yeah, but they love
resulted in a
America.
First
trade
world
deficit
countries. I'm
one
not-
of the
I'm not
highest
gonna-
we've ever seen
really.
in the
They
history of
hate
America.
like tourists.
He invited
they
trade
hate,
wars.
Like
You want
they
to
love
talk
our
about
foreign
his
policy,
deal
but
with
they love
China,
like
what
they
he
love like
ended up doing
American
under Donald Trump's
movies, yeah, like
presidency.
movies
He ended
and
up
music
selling
and shit.
bullshit.
American
Like
Yeah,
they
of
love
course.
it. They love
to
American
China
culture.
American
to
culture
help
is
them
not American people.
improve and modernize their military.
American culture is cool.
Basically
American
sold
people
us out
are
when a policy
fucking
about China
these
should
two
be
right
in making
here.
sure
They really
the
are a
United
good
States of
representative
You know, and
America
it's like,
wins
God,
the competition
Jesus
for the 21st
Christ.
century.
How good
Which means
of a
focusing
dick
on the details of what that
do you think
requires.
Kamala
Focusing on relationships
is
with our
licking?
allies. Focusing on
She looks
investing
like
in
her
American-based
husband.
technology.
Do you know anything
so
about
that
her
we
husband?
win the
He's a
race
white man,
on
right?
AI
Yeah.
and quantum
So,
computing.
good-
Focusing
good-
on what
good
we
But
need
he's
to
like a
do
lawyer.
to
He's like
support
some attorney
America's
guy, I think.
workforce, so that we don't end up having on the short end of the stick in terms of workers' rights.
She's doing good.
But what Donald Trump did, let's talk about this, with
Let's talk about it,
COVID,
Kamala.
is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point. When we know that she was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins
Y'all
of
called him
COVID.
racist.
President Trump elected
Y'all called him
First of
racist
all,
when he
they
said it
bought
was
their
China.
chips from Taiwan.
Nancy Pelosi
We
was
hardly
in
make chips
Chinatown
anymore because
calling
of
him racist.
Just going, "There's
philosophies
nothing
like
wrong
they
with
have
Chinese
and policies
people.
like
I'm
they
eating
have. I don't
Chinese
say her
food right
because
now."
she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy, but if she ever got
I mean,
elected, she'd change
flex.
it, and it will be the end of our country.
they are changing
She's a Marxist.
the-
Everybody knows she's a Marxist.
She's not a Marxist.
Her father's a Marxist
They are
professor
changing.
in
They are
economics,
changing
and
their
he taught
policies.
her
Their
well.
policies about immigration.
But when you look at what she's
100%.
done to our
like
country,
if you go back and
when
watch
you look
the
at these
debates
millions
from
and millions of people that are pouring into our
like
country
the,
monthly,
like the
where
primary
it's, I believe,
debates
21
of
million
the
people,
Democrats,
not
they're
the
like,
15 that people
everybody
say. And I think it's a lot
should come
higher
to
than the
America.
21.
Everybody should be allowed
That's
here.
bigger than New
There should be
York
zero
State pouring in.
restrictions.
And just
then
look
they
at what
asked
they're
Kamala
doing
about it.
to our
She's like,
country.
no, I mean,
they're criminals. Many
no,
of
if you
these
break
people
the,
coming in are
he's
criminals.
like, people
And
coming
that's
Oh
bad
my
illegally
for
are
our
breaking the
economy,
law,
too.
and they have to be
you mentioned
deported.
before
It's
we
like
talk about
they flip-flop
immigration
on
later.
She totally
well,
flip-flopped
bad
on that
immigration
policy
is the worst thing that can
without
happen
question.
to our economy. They have, and she has destroyed our country with policy that's insane. Almost policy that you'd say they have to hate our country.
President Trump, thank you.
They hate our country.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump, you often touted that you were able to kill Roe v. Wade. Last year, you said that you were proud to be the most pro-life president in American history. Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive
He's just got a
rights.
permanent bitch
In your home
face.
state of Florida, you surprised many with regard to your 6-week abortion ban because you initially had said that it was too short. And you said, quote, I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks. But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion because you've changed your position so many times. Therefore, why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, who's doing an excellent job, but the governor before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby.
True.
And that's why I did that,
tape.
because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote.
E4.
But what I did is something for 52 years. They've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. And through the genius and heart and strength
I think this is his hardest
6
issue to
Supreme
defend.
Court
That's a good
justices,
answer.
we were able to do that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85% of Republicans do. Exceptions. Very important. But we were able to get it, and now states are voting on it. And for the first time, you're going to see, look, this is an issue that's torn our country apart for 52 years. Every legal scholar, every Democrat, every Republican, liberal, conservative, they all wanted this issue to be brought back to the states where the people could vote. And that's what happened. Now, Ohio, the vote was somewhat liberal. Kansas, the vote was somewhat liberal, much more liberal than people would have thought. But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response
okay, so that's an impartial moderator right
there.
She's like,
a surprising
you don't know
fact.
what the hell you're talking about.
Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest.
Yeah,
which
but a lot of that
understand
is
what
on the
that
fucking
means.
senators
A survivor
and
of a
governors.
crime of
For.
violation to their body
Right,
does
but
not
still,
have
dude,
the right
like
to
the
make a
states
decision
have
about
so
what
much
happens
control.
to their
Like
body
these people,
next.
was
That
a
is
bullshit argument.
immoral.
I mean, this whole debate is
one
bullshit.
does not have to
what the
abandon
fuck are we talking
their
about?
faith or deeply held beliefs to agree.
abortion.
The government and
I don't
Donald
know.
Trump
It's-
certainly
it's
should
all on the
not
state
be telling
basis,
a woman
dude.
It's a
what to
tough
do
question to answer, man.
Go fucking ask
body.
Bill Lee
I have
about it.
talked
Yeah,
with
we've
women
already solved
around our
this.
country.
It
You
should
wanna
be
talk about
legal,
this is what
but don't
people
fucking
wanted?
talk about it.
Pregnant women who
That's
want
all
to
it
carry
is.
a
Have a
pregnancy
fucking
to term,
reasonable window.
suffering from a miscarriage, being denied
Real shit.
care
It's
in
like
an
anything else.
emergency room
I'm
because
with you.
the
You want
healthcare
your
providers
fucking
are
your
afraid
oil
they might
change?
go
We got
to
7
jail,
options.
and
You want
she's
your fucking
bleeding out in a car in
baby
the
change?
parking lot.
We got
She
2
didn't
options.
want that.
We got
Her husband didn't
Costco. We
want
got a
that.
Sam's Club. We got a
12 or
budget option.
13-year-old
I mean, it's
survivor of incest
very much more emotional.
being forced
We got a
to
luxury
carry a
option.
pregnancy to term.
You want a luxury
They
option
don't
to kill your
want
baby?
that.
Look.
What's hold on.
Hey,
I want to hear him out.
make back alley abortions
When
great
Congress
again.
passed
That's
the
really
law
that's
to
really.
But
put
what's the
back in place
luxury
the
option? I'm
protections
kind of
of Roe v.
intrigued.
Wade. As
Yeah, dude,
president of the
spa.
United States, I will proudly
Spa, we fly
sign
you out
it
to Rio de Janeiro.
into law.
Yeah.
But understand,
okay.
if
It's
Donald
legal
Trump
in
were to
most-
be reelected,
What are you getting, like an
he will
epidural
sign
and then
national
they're fucking
abortion ban.
aborting the baby, so
Understand,
you
in
don't
his
even. It's
Project
like
Good
2025,
Colombian
there would be a
cocaine
national
straight in
abortion
your vein.
monitor
The baby's
that
dying
would be
anyway.
Wait,
monitoring
it's like
your
straight injected into the
your
vagina?
miscarriages.
In the
I think
uterus, in the
American
placenta.
people believe
Oh.
So the
that
baby
certain
and the mother,
freedoms,
guys,
in
hi.
particular,
This is
the
why you
freedom
got
to
a
make
scholarship
decisions
for
about
engineering.
one's own body.
You know what I'm saying?
I think we're
should not
missing.
be
I
made
think we're
by the
missing out on an
government.
opportunity,
Thank you,
guys. I
Vice
think that
President
we need
Harris.
to.
Well, there she goes
We
again.
need to.
It's
We
a
need to
lie.
open up the.
I'm not signing a ban,
the
and there's no
abortion
reason to sign a
speakeasy
ban
of Tennessee.
because
Dude, I
we've
told you.
gotten
It's gonna.
Oh my
every-
God.
It's gonna
Are
be
you-
in a back alley.
Democrats,
No, you gotta put it behind a
Republicans,
bookcase
and everybody
somewhere,
else,
like in the
and
Memphis
every
library.
legal scholar
Everybody's gotta
wanted
wear,
to
like,
knock
suits.
it back into the states, and the states
It's got to be
are
like the
voting.
20. It's
And
got to
it
be
may
like
take
everybody's
a
gonna be
little
like wearing
time,
suits
but
and
for
like
52 years,
zoot
this
suits.
issue
Yeah, it's got to be all
has
zoot
torn
suits.
Go to the
our
Memphis
country
Public Library
Smoky.
downtown.
And
was
they
like, hey, I'm
wanted
trying to
it
get rid
back
of a
in the
guy.
states.
We'll
and
put
I
it
did something
behind.
that nobody
We'll
thought
put it
was
behind
possible.
a bookcase in the
states are
Memphis
now
Public
voting.
Library downtown.
What she says is an
Nobody will
absolute
know.
lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you veto
See,
an
and that's a
national
good
abortion
argument,
ban
and
if
he
it
just
were-
shut that shit
because,
down.
again,
It's going to be
two
hard to
things.
fucking.
Number one,
It's
she
going to
said
be
she'll go
hard
back to
because
Congress.
a
She'll
lot
never
of
get
people
the
don't
vote.
like
It's
Harris
impossible
either.
for
It's
her
going to
get
be
the vote,
hard
especially
for
now with the 50-50
for people to be like, fuck it. You know what I mean?
50-50
Like,
in both
I
Senate
like-
and the
I like
House.
putting
She's not going to get
more
the
things
vote.
to the states.
She
I
can't get
think
the
that's-
vote. She won't even
I
come
think that's
close
good,
to it. So
dude.
it's
Like,
just
that's
talk.
called
You know what it reminds me of
America.
when
Yeah.
they said they're going to get student loans
Limited government.
terminated,
Sounds like you're a
and
motherfucking
it ended up
Republican.
being a total catastrophe. The student loans, and then her, I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again.
That was
we'll
a
do it
jab
a
at
different
Biden
way. And he
because he
went
says
out,
he spends
got
all his time
rejected
at the
again
beach.
by the
Does he?
Supreme
Yeah, he
Court.
does.
So all
I
these
didn't know
students
that.
got
I don't think he
He's
spends
the-
any time
taunted
outside.
with this
He's
whole
the-
thing
he's
about
not. He's
this
the-
whole
he's
idea.
the most vacation
and how
taking president
unfair
ever.
that
He's
would have been
hidden
part of the
from-
reason they
from
lost.
you.
On the
To
beach.
the millions and
Where?
millions of people that had
Probably
to pay
his
off
beach.
their
Delaware?
student
Yeah,
loans.
probably his
they didn't get
beach.
it for free. But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes
See,
or no,
now
because
Trump
you're
sounds
running
normal. I
General
guess he just had
J.D.
to warm his
Vance has
voice up.
said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with JD. In all fairness, JD, and I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me. But I really didn't. Look, we don't have to discuss it because she'd never be able to get it, just like she couldn't get student loans. They couldn't get student loans. They didn't even come close to getting student loans. They taunted young people and a lot of other people that had loans. They can never get this approved.
Clips.
So it doesn't matter what she says about
Yep.
going to
Look at her
Congress. Well,
face
wonderful.
right
Let's
now.
go to
She's like,
Congress. Do
damn
it.
it, he's
But the
right.
fact is that for
Clips.
years they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government, and we did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now you have a vote of the people on abortion.
Vice President Harris, I want to give you your time to respond, but I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America. And understand what has been happening under Donald Trump's
That's a really good
abortion
angle.
bans.
No, that's bullshit.
Couples
Though.
who
It's a
pray
good angle, though. It's
and-
all
and-
bullshit.
and
Look, you have to
dream
look
ran
at
it.
of
this.
having
She
a
ran it
family
back as bullshit.
are
I
being
want to tell you this right
denied
now.
IVF
Everything they
treatments.
say is going to be
What is
bullshit. You have
happening
to
in our
see the
country?
angle of
What
it.
type of
Working
bullshit are you
people,
looking for?
working women.
Yeah. If it's
who
really
are
good
working
bullshit,
one or
if it's
two jobs,
believable,
who
almost
can
50
barely afford
Exactly.
believable
childcare as
bullshit,
it is,
then we know
have
what's
to
going on
travel
here.
to another
Yeah, or it's going
state
to be total bullshit.
to get on a
She's coming
plane
back with that
sitting next to
50% bull,
strangers,
man.
to go and get the health care
That-
she needs.
that half and half.
Barely can afford to
That
do it,
motherfucking
and what you
all-star
are putting
bullshit.
her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans
about
believe in
you
a woman's
whores
right to
quit
make
getting
decisions about
banged
her own
and
body.
knocked up all the time?
And that is why
How
in
you
every
quit
state where
slutting it
this
up.
issue
Fucking
has
quit
been
being
on the
sluts,
ballot in red
dude.
and blue states both,
quit being
the people
sluts.
of America have voted for freedom.
Vice President Harris,
Excuse me, I
thank
have
you.
to respond. Another lie. It's another lie. I have been a leader.
Hey, you
on
whores,
IVF,
keep it in your pants.
Which is sterilization. The IVF, I have been a leader. In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of
IVF
Alabama
is in
and the
vitro
legislature
fertilization.
2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader
scientifically
on it. They know that,
blasting
and everybody else knows
nut
it.
incubated
I have been a
babies in
leader
your-
on
in your fucking
fertilization,
snatch.
IVF. And
Matrix.
the other thing,
Turbo sperm.
Has anybody ever seen The
You should
Matrix
ask.
starring Keanu Reeves?
Will she allow
Yeah, I'm in
abortion
it,
in the
actually.
8th month,
You're
9th
in it?
I'm
month,
Keanu
7th
Reeves.
month?
No, you're dancing in
Okay,
Zion.
well, you
I
know
saw
what?
you.
I see
I
the
saw you.
resemblance now.
Why don't you
He was
explain-
definitely one of those
Why
guys
don't you
dancing in
answer the
Zion.
question with your
Because
veto?
under UVA,
Answer the question
you
with your
could-
veto.
you could do
Tonight,
abortion
you
in
wanna
the
show the
7th month,
machines.
the 8th
You look
month,
more like
the
Trinity
9th
to me.
month, and
You can
probably after
dance.
birth. Just look
think I'm
at
a
the
pretty bitch,
governor,
bro?
former governor
You are a pretty
of
bitch.
Virginia.
Fuck you, man.
And
The
you-
governor of
you're like one of
Virginia
them pretty
said, "We put the
boys.
baby
Don't act
aside,
like you're
and then
not."
we determine
Trinity's
what we
a
want
pretty
to do with the
manly
baby."
woman.
President Trump, thank you.
She's-
We're going to turn now
She's
to
a badass.
immigration and
She's a
border
sexy-
security. We
she's
know
a
it's an
sexy
issue that's
lesbian.
important to Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board
All right, we're
in this
going to the
country.
border, guys.
Vice President Harris, you were tasked by
Who's
President
this
Biden
fucking
with
asshole?
getting to
What
the
happened
root
to the other
causes of
moderator?
migration from Central
He's the guy.
America. We know that
No,
illegal
they
border
just-
crossings reached
The
a
guy from
record
before?
high in the Biden
He's the guy
administration.
from
This
before.
past
No,
June,
he's the guy from tonight.
President Biden
No, but
imposed
who's the
tough
other-
new
who's the-
asylum
what-
restrictions.
what are we
We
talking
know
about?
The
The other
numbers
one was
since then
Dana
have
Bash.
dropped
It was a black woman and
significantly.
him.
But my question to you
There's
tonight
two?
is why did the
There's two
administration
moderators,
wait until
a
6
white
months
man
before
and
the
a black
election to
woman.
act?
All
And
right.
would you have done anything
And also,
differently
they're
from
expert
President
with it.
Biden on
They
this?
chose
So I'm the only
another
person on this stage who has
fair-skinned black
prosecuted
woman.
transnational criminal
So
organizations
this guy's more of a Trump
for
guy?
the trafficking
The other
of
person
guns,
was a Harris
drugs,
person?
I think
and
they're
human
the
beings.
woman was a Harris.
I think
And
they're
let
doing
me
Harris
say
girl?
I think they're doing
that the
identity
United
politics.
States
I
Congress,
think they're
including
doing-
some of the
all
most
right, all right.
conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill, which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime trying to do their job.
I seen a
It would
Ukrainian
have
Muslim
allowed us
in my
to
Memphis
stem
town.
The flow of fentanyl
You
coming
failed.
into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country. That bill
Look at that.
would have put more resources
He's
to
like,
allow
yeah,
us
I
to
put all the
prosecute
fentanyl in
transnational
there.
criminal
We made a lot of
organizations
money.
for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened
Fentanyl's
to that
popping,
bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing
See, that was a
problem.
mistaken thing that
And
he wanted
understand,
everybody to watch
this
Kill
comes
Bill
at a time
because he thought it was such a
where
great
the
film.
people
It's so
of
And
our
see,
country
Tarantino, are you
actually
kidding me?
need
That's
a leader
miscommunication right
who
there.
engages in
See,
solutions,
she's getting fucking
who
misinformation.
actually
He
addresses
wanted everybody to
the
watch Kill
problems
Bill,
at hand.
the fantastic
But what we have in the
Quentin
former
Tarantino
president
film.
is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing
I'll
a
be right back.
problem. And I'll tell you something. He's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really
So I didn't want to
unusual,
bring
and I'm
this
gonna
up, but John
invite
is a
you
Trump supporter.
to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also
How does
notice
she
is
know
that
what he's
people
gonna
start
talk
leaving
about?
his
What is
rallies
this- what
early
is she talking
out of
about?
exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you
Trump's
will not
like,
hear him
no,
talk about
not that
is
part.
You will
Please,
not hear him
tell
talk
her that
about
she
your
sucks at
needs,
golf,
your
Donald.
dreams, and your desires. And I'll tell
I've
you,
seen
I
your
believe
swing.
you
You're a
deserve
14
a
handicap,
president who
Kamala.
actually puts
You're
you
a 14
first, and I
handicap.
pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris, thank
You
you.
putts in
President
the
Trump, on that
fridge.
point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so? That would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border.
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing
Get the
nation.
biggest rallies.
And it happened
They're so
3.5
big.
years ago. And
Get big dicks
what's
and big
going on
rallies.
here, you're going
That's
to
what
end
we
up in
got.
World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're
This is the
eating the
Venezuelan
dogs.
shit.
Yeah, but which
the people
Springfield
that
is
came
it?
in,
Is it the one
they're
with the
eating
Simpsons
cats.
in it?
They're eating.
They don't know.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far
Is
as
that true?
rallies are concerned, as
He
far
said-
as
he said
the
that the
reason they
immigrants-
go is
what?
they like what
Good
I
show
say.
going on?
They
Got
want
a
to bring
a
our
lot of
country
people?
back.
5 people
They
walking
want to
in.
make
Nice.
America great again. It's a very simple phrase.
See?
Make
What?
America great again.
I heard there were.
She's
I heard there was,
destroying this country.
Venezuelan
And if she
gangs
becomes
were fucking
president,
up
this
Aurora,
country doesn't
Colorado.
have a chance of success.
He said that they were
Not only
eating the cats
success,
in
will
Springfield,
end up being
Ohio.
Venezuela
Yes, true.
on
Have you heard that
steroids.
story?
Yes.
I just want to
Yeah, the
clarify here. You
Haitians.
bring up
Look, as a
Springfield,
Haitians are
Ohio.
eating the cats.
As a
And
Jamaican, I
ABC News
believe
did
any
reach out
bad
to the city
news about a
manager
Haitian.
there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims
there's
of
a
pets
story
being
of
harmed,
Haitians
injured,
eating
or abused
cats.
by
Have
you-
individuals
I will pull it up to you
within
right
the
now. I'll pull it up
immigrant
right now.
community.
Well,
All
I've
this-
seen people on television.
Let me just say here,
literally
this
a
is
dude
the
on
People
camera
on television
killing a
say
cat
my
on
dog
someone's
was
lawn.
taken and used for food.
pull it
So
for you.
maybe he
No,
said
I-
that,
I
and maybe
mean,
that's
you
a
believe
good
him?
thing to say
I
for
mean,
a
I
city
do believe you
manager.
because I love you,
from
but
television.
People
I'm
on
but I
not
don't
taking
want
television
to.
saying their
Manager.
dog was eaten by the
He's
people
trying
that
to
went
look
there.
it up anyway.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that.
He's
Vice
like,
President
fuck
Harris
it.
will
Why
let you
is
respond
why
to the
why
rest of what
dude
you've
the
heard.
moderators are
Here, hold on. Here,
basically-
look, you can look it up on my phone. Here, look it up on my phone.
Do you hear that?
You know,
Look.
So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good
Yeah.
thing to say for a
Let me just say here, this is the
But people on
this is a
television say
clear-
my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good
Yeah.
thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
But the
television.
people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
We'll find out.
You talk about extreme.
They're laughing at him.
You know, this is, I
Talk
think,
about
one of the reasons
extreme.
why in this election I
Bro, you
actually
cannot
have the
answer that.
endorsement
No,
of
you can't.
200
No.
Republicans
You can answer it.
who have formerly worked
can't.
with
Don't answer
President
it.
Bush, Mitt
Answer it.
Romney,
Don't listen
and
to him.
John
Answer
McCain,
it.
including the endorsement
Nope, they
of
hung- they
former
see you
Vice
done.
President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney.
He's fucking
And
fucked up.
if you want to
She's
really
call- she's
know
shouting out Dick
the
Cheney
inside
right now.
track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask
What?
people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a four-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former Secretary of Defense has said the nation, the Republic, would never survive another Trump term. And when we listen to this kind of rhetoric,
I mean, can
when
we not
the
agree that
issues
Trump got out of
affect
this
the
so
American
easy? I mean,
people
the end of his
are
term
not
was
being
2020
addressed,
when
I
the
think the
entire
choice is clear in
world
this
collapsed.
election.
I mean,
Yeah.
President Trump will
it's
give you a
just-
quick minute to respond.
It's like fucking crazy, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Because when I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person. I
mean, he
fired
didn't handle
most of
it
those
well.
people.
Well,
so
and then
gracious.
it's like he
did
passed it off to
bad things or bad
Biden
job.
with.
I fired
I
him.
mean,
They
he
never
he had
fired one
dementia.
person. They
You
didn't
don't think
fire
that fucking
anybody
Barack
having to do
Obama
with
is controlling
Afghanistan
Joe
and the
Biden?
Taliban
You don't
and the
think he's
13
behind that in
people
every fucking
who's-
way?
But
who's
isn't that
that
fucked?
no
No
idea.
idea. I have no idea who's in charge.
violently killed,
I have
and I got
literally
to
no
know the
clue.
You don't think
parents and the
Barack
family.
Obama is
They didn't
guiding
fire- they
fucking
should have
Joe
fired
Biden?
all
Dude,
those
I don't know.
generals,
I don't
all
think
those
so.
He
I don't.
absolutely.
people,
I
because
don't.
that was one of
He
the most
absolutely. Do you know why I don't believe that?
incompetently
Because Joe Biden has
handled
dementia. He's not
anybody
being guided by
has
anything.
ever
I don't
seen.
think it's
But ice
anybody.
cream.
I don't,
Somebody
dude. I
does
don't
a
think it's
bad
anybody we
job,
know who's
I
in charge.
fire him.
I think it's.
And
I
you
think
take
it's
a
some
guy like
fucking
Esper. He was
like,
no good. I
Rothschild.
fired him.
Just
So he writes
no,
a book.
like
Another one
like
writes a book because with me they can
CIA
write books with
director or
nobody else
like
can they?
somebody in the Pentagon who we
But
don't
they
even
have
know.
done
There's just
such a poor
whoever
job.
is like
Man
the,
in
the,
Black.
the top
Fire
spook,
anybody.
the
Look
guy
at
who
the
has
economy.
the
Look
most
at
dirt
the
on the most
inflation.
people.
They
Talking
didn't
about
fire
Illuminati?
any of
The
their
most
Talking about the
no,
Illuminati?
I'm talking about the
That's a
deep
good
state,
way
man. I'm talking
not
about the
to have
intelligence
books written about
agencies.
you.
Talking about
But
Jeffrey Epstein
just to
behind
finish,
Yeah,
the
dude,
I got
whoever
more
is running
votes than
those
any
networks.
Republican in history.
there's
Talking
somebody-
by far.
about, you talk about Operation Midnight
In fact,
Climax.
I got more votes
Yes, I
than
am.
any
Yeah, I'm talking about
president
Midnight
sitting
Climax.
president in
Yes, I am.
history
Yeah,
by far.
I'm talking about.
Let me continue on immigration. It was what you wanted to talk about earlier, so
talking
let's
about-
get back to your deportation
Yeah, I'm talking about, dude, yeah,
proposal that the vice president has
fucking
reacted to
powers
as well.
that be that are
President Trump,
behind the
you call this
scenes.
the largest domestic
love of your
deportation
life?
operation
Yeah,
in the history
no,
of our
this is my
country.
phone.
You say
That's
you would
Charlie's
use
phone.
the National Guard. You say if things get out of control,
That's
you'd
Charlie's
have
phone.
no
Your
problem
wife
using the
texted you
U.S.
and
military.
what'd she say?
You
She
also
made
said you
broccoli.
would use local
Oh,
police.
hell yeah.
It was
how
just a
would you,
warning.
Deport
Oh,
11
dude,
million
I'm gonna
undocumented
get
immigrants. I
somebody's
know
cat on
you
the way
believe that
home.
number
Yeah.
is much higher.
We're gonna have broccoli and
Take us
cat.
through this.
Charlie
What
Reif-
does this
Charlie
look like? Will
Reifenberger,
authorities be
German
going
Haitian.
door to door in this
Because,
country?
yeah, I have Haitian blood. Don't.
It is much higher
Don't,
because of them. They
don't-
allowed
don't
criminals.
judge because of my
many,
culture.
many millions of criminals. They allowed terrorists. They
Millions
allowed
of criminals.
common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into our country. And they're now in the United States and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. Do you know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down? You know why? because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow. And I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in, and all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof, despite their fraudulent statements that they made. Crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice President Harris,
the FBI
are you dead ass?
They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud.
New
Just
York,
like their number of 818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
We got homegrown crime. We got
our crime is American.
It's not migrant.
It's not migrational crime.
Yeah.
It's true. Our crime is homegrown here.
National security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault.
That's all been disproven,
and his
right?
next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing.
That was for
And
like
let's
fucking
be
a porn
clear.
star, correct?
Where each person stands on the issue of what is
paying her
important
to
about
shut
respect
up
for the
and,
rule of law
in a way
and
that was
respect
not
for law
paying her
enforcement.
with
The former vice
campaign
president
money to
called
shut
for
up.
But he didn't
defunding
though. He used his own money,
federal
but
law
they said that it was a
45,000
campaign
agents, get this,
expense
on the day after
because
he
they
was
said
arraigned
that he
on
was trying
34
to
felony
pay her
counts.
so that she wouldn't
So
damage
let's
his
talk
campaign.
about
Therefore,
what
it had
is
to be reported
important
as
in
a.
this race.
But he
It
just
is
used his own
important that
money.
we move forward.
He gave
that
his
we
money to
turn
his
the
lawyer, and
page
the lawyer
on
paid
this
her.
same old tired rhetoric and address the needs of the American people, address what we need to do about the housing shortage, which I have a plan for.
What's your
address
plan,
what
bitch?
we must do to support our small businesses.
never heard it.
Address bringing down the
Hey,
price
don't call her
of
a bitch.
groceries.
Call her an Indian bitch.
But frankly, the American people are exhausted with this same old tired playbook.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Excuse me. Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are cases, it's called weaponization. Never happened in this country. They weaponized the Justice Department. Every one of those cases
that
was
is
involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General of New York and the DA in New York. Every one of those cases. And then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, oh, that's the toughest of them all. A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Well, let's talk
This is
about
the
extreme
worst shit
and
since fucking
understand the
Nixon.
context in which this election in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled that the former president would essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States. That
you
he
can't
would
do that.
weaponize the Department of Justice against his political
He's literally
enemies.
using the system, the Constitution.
Someone who has openly expressed disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no guardrails, because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the American people
Vice President
to stop
Harris,
him.
thank you. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I
They're
probably
letting him
took
talk.
a bullet
They
to the
want
head
it. They want
because
it
of
so fucking bad.
The things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy
President
with a fake
Trump.
Russia investigation
We do have a lot
that
to get
went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
Because she's
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States. And in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking. My position is that we have got to invest in diverse sources of energy so we reduce our reliance on foreign oil. We have had the largest increase in domestic oil production in history because of an approach that recognizes that we cannot over-rely on foreign oil. As it relates to my values, let me tell you, I grew up a middle-class kid raised by a hardworking mother.
I feel like this is like a reiteration of what happened earlier.
And was able to buy our first home when I was a teenager. The values I bring to the importance of home ownership, knowing not everybody got handed.
Babe, stop. Jesus.
Answer it, Charlie. Answer it. Go ahead, answer it.
Hey, you're on the podcast, babe.
Yeah. Can she hear us?
You're on the podcast. Say what's up to all the.
It's
look at the silly dog.
Oh, was it Chip and
Chip and Melly?
Claire, I just want to let you know that we were literally watching Kamala Harris and Donald Trump literally about to fuck.
We're watching.
You really ruined. They were about to climax.
They were just about to start making out.
You ruined the porn.
What? Well, our dogs are being cute. It's more important.
Oh wow, y'all are really just.
As much as I love the dogs being cute, we were literally about to watch the vice president and ex-president have sex. I just can't believe you ruined this.
Look at Melly. She got a Russian grandma.
Oh my God, she looks like my bubby.
She got a head wrap.
Oh, don't hide.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, like y'all are the fact that y'all got some cute ass big dogs is cool and all, and they got these cute tendencies, but the dog got a do-rag on, bro. Why the dog got a do-rag?
She's got like a it's called a hematoma in her ear. It's like like blood is like gathering.
Oh no!
In a spot. It's like
It's like a big bruise.
Oh no!
Yeah, but it's like fucking like it's like a bladder of like water.
Claire, I gotta go get a buddy of mine from downstairs. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, I love you, sweetie.
$1 million on a silver platter and then file bankruptcy 6 times.
This podcast
is a value that I bring to my work. To say we are going to work with the private sector and home builders to increase 3 million homes, increase by 3 million homes by the end of my first term. My work that is related to having a friend when I was in high school who was sexually assaulted by her stepfather. And my focus then on protecting women and children from violent crime is based on a value that is deeply grounded in the importance of standing up for those who are most vulnerable. My work that is about protecting Social Security and Medicare is based on long-standing work that I have done, protecting seniors from scams. My values have not changed. And what is important is that there is a president who actually brings values and a perspective that is about lifting people up and not beating people down and name-calling. The true measure of the leader is the leader who actually understands the strength is not in beating people down, it's in lifting people up. I intend to be that president.
President Trump, your response?
First of all, I wasn't given $400 million. I wish I was. My father was a Brooklyn builder, Brooklyn, Queens, and a great father, and I learned a lot from him. But I was given a fraction of that, a tiny fraction, and I built it into many, many billions of dollars, many, many billions. And when people see it, they are even surprised. So we don't have to talk about that. Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police, she's been against that forever. She gave all that stuff up very wrongly, very horribly, and everybody's laughing at it. Okay,
she's a prosecutor,
DA, bro.
She's a cop. At least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different
DA,
policies.
right?
She was DA.
She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute, I'm talking now. if you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
There you go. There you go. See,
she went out.
See, Trump gets that attitude,
She
and that's
went
what this. That's what these.
in
That's what the
Minnesota
people want.
and wanted
they
to
want
let
the attitude.
criminals
be like a
that
sassy
killed people,
bitch.
that burned
If
down
Trump wasn't such a
Minneapolis.
sassy bitch,
she went
he would
out and
not
raised
have
money
half
to
the
get him
voters
out
he
of
has.
jail.
I think you're
she
right.
did things that nobody would ever think of. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical left liberal.
That's a
would do
fucking
this. She
transgender
wants to
illegal
confiscate
aliens?
your
That's a
guns,
punk band,
and
dude.
she will never allow fracking in Pennsylvania.
That's a fucking punk
If she
band.
won the election, fracking in Pennsylvania will end on day one. Just to finish
Dude,
one thing,
fracking
so
in
important in my
Pennsylvania?
opinion.
Can we not get a fucking
So,
Ben Gibbard
I got the oil business
album
going like nobody
called
has ever
Fracking
done
in
before.
Pennsylvania?
When they took over,
Number one single.
they got rid of it, started getting rid of it,
Transgenders.
and the prices were
Abortions
going
no,
up
what was it?
the roof.
Oh,
They
God.
immediately
Transgender
let
illegal
these
aliens
guys
in
go
prison.
Transgender illegal
to where they
aliens
were.
in prison.
In prison.
I would have been 5 times, 4 times, 5 times higher because you're talking about 3.5 years ago. They got it up to where I was because
Why
they
does
had
his
no
hair
choice
look
because
like
the
that?
prices
His
of
hair
energy
is fucking
were
crazy looking.
quadrupling and doubling. You saw what happened to gasoline. So they said, let's go
looks
back
good.
to Trump.
It's just
He
When
looks
she
really
won the
good.
election, the
Like,
day
he looks
after
better
that
than
election,
normal.
they'll go back to destroying our country, and oil will be dead. Fossil fuel will be dead. We'll go back to windmills, and we'll go back to solar, where they need a whole desert to get some energy to come out of. You ever see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a big fan of solar, but they take 400,
President
500 acres of desert
President
soil.
Trump, we have a
These
lot
are
of
not good
issues
things
that we
for the
have to get
environment
to.
that
We're
she
out of time.
understands.
Thank you.
Lindsay, thank you. We have an election in just 56
Lindsay,
days.
I thought it was David
And I want
Bash.
to talk about the peaceful transfer of power,
Lindsay.
which, of course, we all know is a cornerstone of our democracy, and the role of a president in a moment of crisis. Mr. President, on January 6th, you told your supporters to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them. The country and the world saw what played out at the Capitol that day, the officers coming under attack. Aides in the West Wing say you watched it unfold on television off the Oval Office. You did send out tweets, but it was more than 2 hours before you sent out that video message telling your supporters to go home. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day?
You just said a thing that isn't covered. Peacefully and patriotically, I said during my speech, not later on. Peacefully and patriotically. And nobody on the other side was killed. Ashley Babbitt was shot by an out-of-control police officer that should have never, ever shot her. It's a disgrace. But we didn't do this group of people that have been treated so badly. I ask, what about all the people that are pouring into our country and killing people that she allowed to pour in? She was the border czar. Remember that. She was the border czar. She doesn't want to be called the border czar because she's embarrassed by the border. In fact, she said at the beginning, well, I'm surprised you're not talking about the border yet. That's because she knows what a bad job they've done. What about those people? When are they going to be prosecuted? When are these people from countries all over the world, not just South America, they're coming in from all over the world, David, all over the world, and crime rates are down all over the world because of it.
But let me just
when
ask
are those, David, when are those people going to be prosecuted? When are the people that burned down Minneapolis going to be prosecuted? Or in Seattle, they went into Seattle, they took over a big percentage of the city of Seattle. When are those people going to be prosecuted?
Chaz.
But let me just ask
You might ask her that
Autonomous
You were
zone?
the president.
Oh,
you were
yeah,
watching it
yeah.
unfold on television.
Goddamn
It's a
DMZ.
very simple question as we move forward toward another election. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day? Yes or no?
I had nothing to do with that other than they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech. I said, I think it's going to be big. I went to Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington, D.C.
Although you said, hey,
and the mayor
let's
put it
go
back in
over
writing,
there and
as you
fucking
know.
fuck shit
I
up.
said, you know, this is going to be a very big rally or whatever you want to call it. And again, it wasn't done by me. It was done by others. I said, I'd like to give you 10,000 National Guard or soldiers. They rejected me. Nancy Pelosi rejected
the fucking
me.
shit
It
was a
just
setup, dude.
2 weeks
That
ago,
shit
her
was a
daughter has a
setup.
tape of
What,
her
for him to
saying
fail?
she
The
is fully
fucking whole
responsible
January
for what
6th thing was
happened.
a fucking
They want to get
setup.
rid of that tape.
What,
It
you
would
had
have
agent
never
provocateurs
happened
in
if
there?
Nancy
Yes.
Pelosi and the mayor
You had
of
people
Washington
that were
did
in
their
there
jobs.
instigating
I
it.
wasn't
Yeah.
responsible for security.
Dude,
Nancy
I watched the
Pelosi
whole-
was responsible.
The
She
video,
documentary-
I watched the video
The question
when it was
about
happening
you as
live.
president,
And I'm
not
just
about
like,
former Speaker Pelosi.
so
But I
wait a
do want
minute.
Vice President Harris to respond here.
Who's filming this right now? That's really
was
what.
at the
That's really
Capitol
what
on
I was
January
thinking. I was like,
6th.
who the
I
fuck
was
is filming
the
this?
vice president
Who told you to
elect.
be
I was
there?
also an acting
Because you
senator.
knew
I was there.
You had
this
enough-
was about to
And
happen.
on
You have
that day,
check this out.
the
They had
president of the
high
United
def
States
with
incited a
camera
violent
batteries.
mob
They had all the, they had the continual
attack
setup
at the
Like,
front, at the
our
very
nation's
front
capital.
of the people
to
Where
desecrate
they're busting into the
our
glass and
nation's
shit? Yeah.
capital.
At the
On
very
that day,
front.
140 law enforcement officers were injured, and some died. And understand, the former president has been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate.
We can kill it.
And what did the president then at the time say?
Whatever y'all want to do.
There were fine people on each side.
We'll see who wins,
Let's
guys.
remember.
Fuck yeah.
How you want
when it
to
came
dismount
to the
this?
Proud Boys, a
Let's
militia.
Can you turn that down?
The president said, the
Fuck you,
former
Kamala.
president said.
Well, so John, I think we should end this how we started this, and I just want to say, I know you're a Trump supporter.
I know.
And
too.
so,
and it's okay. Look,
and
look,
I'm not in.
Somebody tried to use that to stop me from getting the pretty girl's phone number, and guess what? I still got it.
And look at that. And you know what? And for you to be a Trump supporter it means worlds to the American people, especially the people that support him.
Why?
Well, because you're a beautiful man.
I'm a celebrity.
Yeah.
You are a celebrity. And honestly,
and they don't have a lot of celebrities on their side.
It helps that, the comedian, the comedy, and I would say that you're a good representation. Both of you are a good representation of the Memphis comedy scene.
We're essentially the Eddie Murphy and the Chevy Chase of comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Absolutely. I love Chevy Chase.
I can agree with that.
I'll take it.
I would agree with that, and I would just say that you supporting Trump is it's admirable. Not that I agree with you, but it's very admirable.
I just know I'm gonna be rich one day.
It takes balls.
I'm gonna be rich one day. So
Yeah.
I need to have,
and I'm gonna be your Jewish handler. When you get rich and famous.
Remember we called about. We said we need a Jewish handler. We're not getting traction.
We've been needing that.
I think we need to get Woloshin for that Jewish.
Dude,
honestly, whatever you need, I will represent the Jewish delegation as
we had a Jew with us all along
the whole time, dude. We didn't even think about it. It's like the Lord said, everything you need is within arm's reach. And look at him right here.
Yep.
Got him right here.
Praise Allah.
Chosen people right here.
You know what? This has been a great episode.
Yeah, I love it. This was fun.
Thank you for letting me hop on. I mean, this is very unexpected.
Thank you for letting us use the headquarters, bro.
Yeah, of course. Welcome to the Sunway headquarters.
1,000 miles away from where we just were.
That's true. It's 1,500 miles away. But you guys are always welcome, and you know that.
1,000,000 leagues under the sea, baby. If it's on me, it's on you. The dismount?
Guys, this has been a very special edition of the Golden Nonsense Podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for sticking with us. And we will see you guys next week.
Remember,
Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios.
I'll catch you on the flip side.